Hey folks, Jason here from Diatoms, coming at you with a quick little correction. And essentially this is regarding a video I made recently about upgrading your objectives. And in that video, I sort of made a blanket statement that if you get Olympuses or Nikons plan or above, they'll be better than the achromats that your microscope came with. And I found a microscope where that's not necessarily true. So let's talk about it. It's not all bad news, but here we go. So what I got for you right now is I'm taking this video with my iPhone, and this is a Stentor Caeruleus, and I'm looking at it with this microscope's standard achromatic objective. And so you can see when I go off axis, I lose a lot of resolution. The image of the stentor becomes blurred. And if I switch over to a Nikon plan objective and scooch it all the way to the side, then you can see that that image of the stentor stays nicely in focus the whole time. And it can go either way, it's always going to look good. And this is a Nikon E plan. And now I'm going to switch over to an Olympus D plan, which should be a roughly equivalent objective, and you're going to notice a pretty substantial difference. So in the middle, it still looks pretty good, I would say. But now watch what happens when I go off axis. That doesn't look super great. And if you pay attention, especially to like some of the stuff that's in the background, what you'll notice is that it's picking up a whole lot of chromatic aberration as I go away from the center. And yeah, we should be able to see that on this stentor as well. You can see kind of a blue and a red fringe around it. And I would say that this is definitely not better than the achromat, and arguably it's worse. And if I go over even to an S-Plan Apo objective, and this just brightened up a whole lot because that's what these guys do. There we go. Then you can see that I still get that same chromatic aberration. So it's bad. It doesn't matter if the objective is a super high-end one or not. It just doesn't look good. Now, here's where it gets a bit interesting. So bear with me here. I might cut in the video, I'm not sure. I'm gonna swap out the eyepiece with a different one. Okay, wow, that took way longer than it should have, but we're back now. And so what I have for you is the S-Plan Apo 10X again. But I've swapped out the eyepiece with an Olympus eyepiece. And after doing that and getting my camera positioned to capture that image, what you'll see is that I actually get really, really good image performance all the way across. It is better than on microscopes like the 380B or the Journey to the Microcosmos microscope. So that's sort of what I want to report, is that if you have a microscope with this style of head and you buy Olympus objectives, you might have to buy Olympus eyepieces in order to get a good image. But you're going to get a better image. And the other thing that you may or may not have noticed is that the image circle itself actually got wider. I'll show that in the video, hopefully. And that's because these have a 20 millimeter field number as opposed to most amateur microscope eyepieces, which have an 18 millimeter field diameter. So yeah, it's sort of a good thing, bad thing. If you were going to buy anything that goes down the eyepiece tube, with this microscope, you definitely would want to stick to Nikon objectives. If you want to use the trinocular, you either need to put an Olympus eyepiece in there, or sort of more professionally, you would put a Olympus photo eyepiece in there and use it with a DSLR camera or mirrorless. So, yep, that's it. I'm probably going to be making mistakes on this channel moving forward. That's just sort of the nature of what I'm doing. I think I'm doing something that's pretty unique. I don't think many people are trying to tackle this little specific section of the microscopy world. So anytime that I find out about inaccuracies in anything I presented, you guys are going to know pretty much as soon as I do. And so that's why we made this video. I'll be uploading a new version of the PDF with a slide in there, summarizing this. And I hope you guys continue to stick with me. I've got some really cool content coming up for you. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.